We're going to do that again.
Clear! Clear!
Doctor, he's gone.
This is the part of the job I hate.
You're a veterinarian?
That's right. And for an extra $20, I'll give Homer a tick bath and then spay him.
Here you go, Doc.
Bart!
Right now, it's time to take out the jams, motherfucker!
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto, where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto, where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto, Mike, we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1695 of Toronto Mic'd, proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Yes, we are open, an award-winning podcast from Monaris, hosted by FOTM Al Grego. Toronto Maple Leafs baseball. Sato pitches at Christie Pits this Sunday at 2 p.m. Be there. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. Building Toronto Skyline, a podcast and book from Nick Iones, sponsored by Fusion Corp Construction Management Inc. and Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, returning to Toronto Mic'd to kick out the jams, is Dr. Cliff Redford. Welcome back, Dr. Cliff.
Thanks for having me, man.
I love kicking out the jams. Beautiful day out there, and I thought we'd crack open a fresh can of Great Lakes beer to kick things off, and then we'll dive right into the first jam, and then we'll catch up along the way. Sound good?
Best way to start a long weekend.
Okay, yeah.
Here we go.
On the mic. 3, 2. Okay, Dr. Cliff, you've got
Irish
the Canuck
crickets,
Pale Ale.
they call those.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Irish crickets.
I'm going to steal that from you there. Okay. I'm drinking my Sunnyside Session IPA, which is my beer of summer, and you've got the Canuck Pale Ale. How does it taste?
Let's give it a try. Very good, eh?
Very good, eh?
Tastes excellent, eh? Thank you.
Well, man, I'm so excited to have you back. One quick question before I press play on Jam 1. Are you ready, Dr. Cliff, to kick out the jams?
I think so. This is my first time, so yeah, let's give it a shot.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence.
All right, Dr. Cliff, tell us why this disturbed cover of The Sound of Silence.
Yeah, I made it on my list. You asked me for my favorite 10, which is tough to do. So I pulled all these songs out of my inspiration playlist.
Okay.
I've slowly added to this playlist, occasionally pulled songs from it after I got tired of them, but and it's literally the music I listen to in the shower pretty much every morning, and it gets me ready for the day and chase those dreams. This song, it just gives me goosebumps, man. This guy's voice is so haunting in a beautiful way, and I do like it better than the original.
So Simon and Garfunkel, of course, have the original, and this is for those who are unaware of Disturbed, this is the Down with the Sickness guy.
Yeah.
Like, Down with the Sickness was the big one.
Yeah. Like, it's this to have Disturbed do a Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah. You know, they hear about it and they'll be like, "Oh no!" It was probably like when Michael Keaton was casted as Batman. Everyone thought, "No, Mr. Mom," and then it ended up working out brilliantly. Possibly the best Batman.
So I like this arrangement. I like this cover, and Disturbed. Sometimes we forget about Disturbed, but I'm glad you're bringing this one to the table. Also, it's worth mentioning that Rush's Spirit of Radio borrows, it borrows a phrasing there. The words of the prophet were written on the studio walls. That's taken from this Simon and Garfunkel classic.
Beautiful.
And beautiful. How's your beautiful life going? I'm going to tell the listenership, the last time Dr. Cliff was here to make his Toronto Mike debut was way back. Not that actually, it was September 2024. So do you look back at that with fondness? Your Toronto Mike debut in September 2024.
It was beautiful. It was amazing. The lasagna afterwards was excellent. And do
you want another one?
Yes, please.
Okay, Palma Pasta sent over another large lasagna for you.
I love it. It was a good time. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it, and that's why I reached out to you and said, "Could I please come on again? I got something I want to talk about."
And then I said, "Hey, would you kick out the jams with me? Because I love kicking out the jams with a returning guest, right? Like, so let me read the description so people can go to episode 1550, 1550. If they want to hear like the A to Z of Dr. Cliff Redford, let me read the description. So in this 1550th episode of Toronto Mike chats with veterinarian Dr. Cliff Redford, and we found out no relation to Robert Redford. We found that out. Okay. Who travels across the world and works side by side with local staff at community-based organizations that carry out animal rescues, adoptions, advocacy, and wildlife conservation. We talked for, an hour 17. One of the main subjects we covered was a documentary I had the privilege of watching back then called Dr. Cliff, Worldwide Vet.
Mm-hmm. It was finishing up its film festival at the Toronto Nollywood International Film Festival, which Nollywood is the Hollywood based out of Nairobi, which for people not in the industry, they don't know anything about, but it's actually quite a large film industry. And TNIFF was our last film festival. We won a best documentary there.
Congrats.
We did, thank you. And it's a CSA qualifying film festival. So because we won an award, we could now, at that point, we could put our film in for a possible CSA nomination.
It's a Canadian Screen Award.
That's right. Yeah. It used to be the Gemini.
Yeah. There were, they merged a couple. There were the Geminis and what was the other one?
I don't know.
They had a TV one and a movie one, and they merged these things.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were all Geminis. I know when they were merging them, they wanted to call them the John Candies. People were literally accepting their awards saying, we should change this. This should be called a candy.
So as we're going to learn a lot about you as we learn about your jams and why you choose them. And I love how we start. So I'm actually going to get to the second jam now. And then I'm going to see if you have an exciting announcement to make for the FOTMs listening regarding Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. Like, I understand a little birdie tells me there's some breaking news on this front.
I got something to say. I do.
You got something to say.
Yeah.
And while I'm playing this jam, I'll find out what those awards were called. Okay, I'm going to go to your Worldwide Vet. I'm going to go to the World Wide Web and find out what the hell these things were called. So,
Beauty.
Jam number 2.
House in the shape of a chapel. You hit the knife in the core of an apple. Burn me, try to hurt me, try to hit me when my back was turning. I saw you wave where the shadows were growing. You're talking straight, but your colors are showing. Burn me, try to hurt me, try to get me when my head was turning. You wanna read on my survival story? You're crazy, baby, 'cause I never had a doubt. I'm singing songs about love and glory. Oh, 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 your gun went bang, bang, bang. You shot me to the ground, but you can't bring me down. Bang, bang, bang. You try to knock me out. No, you can't bring me down. It's just my natural reaction when I hit the floor. I'm the original assassin. I come up for more.
Billy Idol.
That's right.
Can't Break Me Down. Why this jam, Dr. Cliff?
Ooh, man, this is going to be a fun podcast listening to these
That's
songs.
why we got our beer. It is a Friday of a long weekend, which I actually forgot till you mentioned it. I don't have to work Monday? Is that what you're telling me?
You do not have to work Monday.
Do you work Monday?
No, my clinic's closed. I'm working tomorrow, but I got Sunday, Monday off. A rare 2-day weekend.
Okay, how's the clinic going? And remind us where it is.
We're super busy. Wellington Vet Hospital's in the north end of Markham. Yeah,
Way
so
up there.
shout out to all my friends there.
I believe there's a listener named Joe Louie. Well, that's what we call him.
Joe Louis Tuyo.
Yeah, you know that. Okay.
We follow each other on Instagram. How do we know each other?
So Joe Louie, who comes to TMLX events, I'm going to invite you to one in a moment.
Please.
June 26th. I hope you're not worldwide vetting, okay? But Joe Louie tells me you're his vet.
Really? What has he got? I think he's
a dog?
He's going to have to message me. I think he's got...
His real name is John.
I think he's got like a big black curly doodly cross, like a big 70, 80 pounder.
I'm surprised he didn't say, "Hey, Dr. Cliff, I heard you on Toronto Mike."
I'm pretty sure that's who we're talking about.
Okay, well, more Joe Louie cast later. You know what's funny? So I had an event last weekend at Christie Pitts, TMLX 18, and Joe Louie sent Carlo, his good buddy, like as a proxy, although Carlo would have come anyway. Carlo's amazing. Hello, Carlo. But Carlo tells me Joe Louie couldn't be there. He was killing turkeys, like hunting turkeys. How do you feel? I need to know you as an animal lover, a man who saves the lives of animals across this world. How do you feel about, for sport, just shooting turkeys?
Well, is he eating them afterwards?
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna have to assume. So I am a weird version of a vegetarian in that I will eat hunted animals. My vegetarianism is that I don't agree with factory farming. And of course there's some great, grass-fed, grass-raised, free-range cattle farms, whatnot, but I don't have time to research. So I'm just against the massive factory farming.
So if he's eating these turkeys, you're fine with it?
Yeah. Look, the turkey was going to die a much worse death as long as he's a good shot. So I get it. I don't hunt myself. I couldn't do that. Right. But I understand it, and it doesn't bother me.
Okay, well, the Dr. Cliff seal of approval, I feel better about it. And before I find out why you love that, I don't know how recent that song is, but I'm a Billy Idol guy from like the early 80s. So I have this era of Billy Idol that I just loved. And that song I heard there, which sounds great in the headphones, and I'm not even familiar with it.
Yeah, so
I think it's a more modern song.
It is. So I got into Billy Idol. I mean, I liked him when I was, back in the 80s as well, but I really got into him when I read his autobiography about a decade ago, Dancing with Myself. And that was the name of the title. I wasn't actually dancing with myself.
No, that's a great name for a Billy Idol biography.
And first of all, I did not realize this guy was key in creating the punk scene back in England.
Generation X.
Like he was key. And then he kind of went popish when he came here. But when he wrote this book, he also came out with a new album called Kings and Queens of the Underground. And that's what this is part of. And the album is amazing. It actually talks a lot about what is talked about in the book about the ghosts of his past and the relationships he destroyed. Like he's very, very honest. And then I found out just today he's playing here in Toronto next week.
Are you going?
I'm going to see if there's tickets.
The amphitheater? The Budweiser stage?
I don't know. I just kind of Googled it, and him and Joan Jett's opening for him. And so if anyone's out there in the Toronto Mike world that wants to go, because I don't think my wife's going to go with me.
Well, honestly, I'd go with you if it's at Budweiser stage and you and I are on the lawns drinking a beer, taking in some Billy Idol. I'd go.
We'll figure it out. I'll check it out.
That's where South Etobicoke and North Markham come together here at the waterfront.
Beauty.
Hey, I gotta tell you the two awards that were merged to make the Canadian Screen Awards. Okay.
Okay.
So the names are so similar. That's why we get it mixed up. The old award for television was called the Geminis. Okay, so Gemini Awards for television. But for movies, which I guess is what your documentary would be up for, it's called the Genie Awards. And they took the Gemini and the Genies, mashed them up, and now you have the Canadian Screen Awards.
So ours would actually be more
TV?
Gemini.
Okay.
So we created this documentary. I've been chasing a dream of creating a TV show. And pitching to broadcasters. It's been a good 12 or 13 years, which is why I have this inspiration playlist. I kid you not. It is a tough business to get into. I've heard a lot of no's, a lot of doors slammed in my face, metaphorically speaking. And I've been ready to give up many, many times. And some of these songs, including Billy Idol's Can't Break Me Down, keep me going. So although our film is a film and it's a documentary, we created it as a proof of concept and eventually to be potentially a pilot episode.
Okay, now it's your call. I kind of feel like diving into Jam 3 and then getting the big announcement about the documentary, or do you want to make it right now?
What is Jam 3? Guns of Brixton.
That's a spoiler alert. Okay.
Guns? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Listen, people are excited to hear it. Oh, that's Dr. Cliff's. You can't just tell the title before I press. I'm so upset with you. I'm going to delete this file. Okay, just kidding.
There you go.
I'm going to play it. And then more on your love of music, and then you're going to make a big announcement because people loved your first episode, Dr. Cliff. Like, people just loved hearing about the doc. And the fact that somebody could literally pause this episode of Toronto Mic'd and then watch the documentary in its entirety, the same doc we talked about in September, I think that's thrilling. And if that's true, it's going to blow my mind. We're going to find out right after... Oh, you know what? Love this song.
This is a real middle finger to the man type of song.
I love giving the middle finger to the man.
When they kick at your front door, how you gonna come? With your hands on your head or on the trigger of your gun? When the law break in, how you gonna go? Shot down on the pavement or waiting in Redford. You can crush us, you can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. The money feels good and your life you like it well, but surely your time will come, as in heaven as in hell.
All right, Dr. Cliff, the Guns of Brixton. Is this on your inspiration? This is like when when the man gets in your way, you shoot him dead like they're a turkey and you're Joe Louis.
Yeah, pretty much. Or it's more of a go down fighting. You're gonna have to kill me before I give up. I put this on my inspiration playlist just because of the opening couple of lines. When they kick in your front door, how you gonna come? With your hands on your head or on the trigger of your gun.
Yes.
Woo-wee. Now, I think this is based about a blue collar riot back in the day, back in England, I think. There was the riots of Brixton, and the police were kicking in people's doors and dragging the troublemakers out. So I think that's the history of it, but... Yeah, it just gets my shoulders a little taller. I just stand up a little bit taller when I hear this song.
And this is on, it's on London Calling, which is a cassette I had in my Walkman for months when I was in high school. Like there was literally and again, this came out in 79. It wasn't in my Walkman in 79. But when I discovered this album, I couldn't take it out of my Walkman. Like there was a long period of time where I just listened at London Calling.
Beautiful.
What a great album that was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm now verifying your story here. Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. Let's make the big announcement before we get back to the jams, because people want to know, how can they watch your excellent documentary, Dr. Cliff, Worldwide Vet?
Whew. Gives me goosebumps. Yeah, and then that's the big announcement, is you guys can watch it. We created this documentary, and it's about my daughter and I going to India during Diwali, the Festival of Lights in 2022. And it's an animal rescue, father-daughter adventure travel story. And it has won many, many awards. I had to build an extra shelf for them for film festivals.
Where are you keeping all those awards?
I got a nice little shelf specifically for them, but I've left a space open for my Genie/Gemini, now a CSA. Let's hope. So we ended up getting picked up by TVO.
Wow.
TVO bought our film, and tomorrow evening, Saturday, May 17th, on TVO, Channel 2 in Ontario, it's going to be airing at 8 p.m., so everyone can check it out. Now, you can also go to their TVO Docs YouTube channel.
Well, can I tell you that it's been there all day? Like,
it has been.
Okay,
yeah,
I don't know if that's a secret, but I've seen it.
They
Since 9 a.m.
For reasons I don't understand. I think YouTube is a little bit more important for them than their channel.
That's
so
interesting, right?
they premiered it on their YouTube channel and their TVO.org website today, 9 a.m.
Yep.
It's probably already got a couple of dozen views. But for me, I want to see it on the little screen. We got a little watch party at a brewery in Markham.
But you mean the big screen, right? Like, you're watching on a 12 screen? Oh, because it's not a movie theater.
Because it's not a movie theater. Yeah. You got to call it how big is your TV?
I thought you were maybe like on a 12-inch black and white TV.
That'd be
that
okay.
you
with little rabbit ears and the whole bit, right?
That's how I watched the Maple Leafs sweep the Blackhawks in '86. It was a best of 5.
I'm confused. The Maple Leafs did what?
But we didn't get. Don't worry. We didn't get out of the second round. We went 7 games against the Blues and bowed out. So don't worry. Don't get excited.
How do you think they're going to do tonight?
Well, I'm doing a thing lately. I think I've always naturally done it, but now I recognize I do it, called wish casting. So when I got this, I live my family's full of doubters, okay, and I'm always like, Leafs in 7, don't worry about it, okay? But do I truly... So that's my wish casting, because I want to see the Leafs win this series in 7. But after the last 2 games, particularly the 6-1 debacle that I watched the other day, when I actually had all 4 of my kids together for the first time since, I think, early February, like I had all 4 kids together, we're watching this game, the gutless performance, the disappointing, this very important home playoff game in the second round, that effort, put a fork in this core, man. This team's not doing anything.
Like, I think they're going to play really, really well tonight. I don't know if they're going to win, though. Like, I think they're going to play really well, but Florida's a good team. So, yeah.
So what I think happens when, and again, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe we win this series in 7 and my wish casting comes true. But when we lose tonight, what next? Like, is Marner gone? There's rumors he'll be gone. What do you do with the Shanna plan? Does he stay in? He's had a couple of, he's had a long, what is it, decade now? I don't know. Lost track. But clearly this core, Austin Matthews as captain, this core can't deliver when it matters. What a great regular season hockey team we've built.
Yeah, like now I'm not enough of a fan anymore to be able to know anything that you're talking about.
Well,
like I can name some of the players, but
here's what you need to know. It was 2-2. We won the first 2 games. We lose the second 2 games. Now
I know all that.
Yeah, but I'm setting the table here, Dr. Cliff. Okay, I'm not going to win any Canadian Screen Awards, but I'm setting the table to say in this crucial Game 5, when you're the home team, you're down 6-0 when superstar Nick Robertson scores your lone goal. Okay.
Yeah.
And Nylander's had a nice playoffs, actually. I've kind of liked it. But Marner with these blind spinorama passes that result in a odd man rush for the Panthers, and Austin, who doesn't seem to score when it matters in the second round. He seems to just did he play? Tavares isn't getting any younger. He had to give up a C for Austin. Like, this core that this team has built doesn't seem to have that grit, that ability to rise to meet the occasion. Like these captains we always loved, like these Sidney Crosbys and these Mark Messiers, and these guys, when the game's on the line, you got to win at home, Game 5, these guys elevate their games.
Mm-hmm.
Our guys disappear.
Yeah. I think they need to fire whoever their sports psychology expert is. Because clearly, here's an interesting question. At least I think it's interesting. Let's say you take this exact team and stick them in Florida, let's say. Stick them in a market that doesn't have the pressure and the history and the crazy fans who are going to be loving you and then hating you. Do they, like, is part of the reason they're choking, which is what's happening, is this pressure and this, and I'm not giving them any, look, they make a lot of money and they were very excited to live in Toronto and work in Toronto. But like, is this part of this Toronto curse because it is Toronto, because of the history that has befallen?
Well, the Habs never had a problem with this. They've won it, in the 1990s they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they had Patrick,
you were alive for that.
Right? They had Patrick Waugh.
Right. Right. And that last game was just so disheartening. Like, to see that gutless effort when it mattered.
I played goalie for quite a few years. I mean, it was basically just university beer league and whatnot. But you can be a really good goalie, and when you see your team play like that in front of you, it just sets your nerves off, and then you're not stopping anything.
And when it went to 3-0, my oldest son is 23, and then I said, "Hey James," I said, "Do you see this particular team putting 4 goals by Bobrovsky tonight?" He's like, "Nope." It's like, "Okay, this is over. Put a fork in it." And next thing you know, it's 6-0, and then Nick Robertson comes through to get on this, to end the shutout streak. All right, my friend, you've got me upset now if this Leafs talk. Okay. So, you know what? I'd rather talk about, and just gonna spend a moment because I have a gift for you. This book is the history of Toronto Maple Leafs baseball.
I love it.
They play at Christie Pitts, and I had a wicked awesome chat with Rob Butler yesterday, and Rob Butler manages the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team. And we talked about how he's using this woman from Japan. Her name is Ayami Sato. She's the first woman to pitch against professional men baseball players in the country of Canada. She's getting the start on Sunday, 2 p.m. start. She pitched 2 innings last Sunday. I was there for that. I had my event at Christie Pitts, and she went 6 up, 6 down. Like, she was lights out. And we'll see what she brings on Sunday. But I find this an intriguing story. Like, this woman is pitching against professional men baseball players, and we'll see how long her shutout streak lasts. So if you're around Sunday, 2 p.m., you'll find me at Christie Pitts. Snow, the informer himself, is going to throw out the first pitch.
That's amazing.
You're just processing
I've got a this sort of reminds me of a story then. There was a female hockey goalie, Menon Rhéaume. First, who did she play for? But
Tampa Bay Lightning.
She played in my little league against me. And
it's mind blow right there.
She played in my little league against me, and then she showed up in my grade 12 law class textbook because she had set a precedent. She was originally not allowed to play in my league, and it set the precedent that if there is not a equal female or girls team, you have to let them on. And I remember, the hockey moms were so upset. She's got to have her own bathroom, and this is not fair, and she's getting special treatment. And if part of it is being part of the team, it was just like, it was BS. But there you go.
So there's a rule now. My 11-year-old plays hockey at Mimico Arena, House League hockey, and they have a rule now. Hockey Canada has a rule: no nudity in the dressing rooms. Like, you can't. Not that the kids ever really got naked in the dressing room. I don't even think I've ever seen it. And my 23-year-old played at George Bell Arena for like a decade. But it's just against the rules. Like, there is no nudity allowed in the. It's probably a good rule actually for these kids playing hockey, but no nudity allowed in the dressing room.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really showering anyways, so it's like they could just strip down to their tighty whities, and then. I guess
that's a rule just to help the female players feel a bit more comfortable or whatever. It's probably a good rule, but because we don't have an equivalent girls league option available at Mimico, so we definitely have girls playing with the guys in the house league.
But if it was an all guys league, would it have the same rule? Or
it's just a hockey, because nowadays
this way they just don't have to argue. They don't have to worry about it.
You have to do tests and stuff if you're going to be like a hockey parent. Like, you go through this tests and rules, and I don't know what they think I'm going to do. I'm like, you know what I mean? But we all go through this, I guess, to make sure you don't yell at a ref or whatever, or throw something at the opposing coach or whatever. But part of this is just a rule, so I'm sure it's just like, we're not going to worry about, I don't know, that. No nudity allowed.
No nudity in the
TMDS studio. You can get naked. I don't care.
I appreciate it.
If you want to.
The video's going. I think I'll save your viewers.
Hey, any new ink? Any new inks in September?
No, because I generally get ink on my trips. And although I've been to the Arctic North since September, I went up to Iqaluit in January.
You should have gotten a tattoo.
I was thinking about it, and originally I asked to have some of the traditional Inuit tattoo technique, and they said, no, that's not for you Southerners. You're not allowed to.
That's like appropriation or something.
Yeah, I guess that's
I can see that.
I get it. I understand.
There was a trend, because you and I are similar vintage, but there's a trend in the 90s where people were getting like Asian characters tattooed on their body. This was a big thing in the 90s.
It means water.
I know. My sister-in-law has one, for example. And I always wonder, like at the time, everybody was kind of doing it. You go to Edgefest, you got your Asian characters. You're not quite sure what they tattooed on you, but it means whatever. It means peace or love or something like that. But in 2025, not cool anymore.
Is that not cool?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, mine are...
You get one and let me know.
Mine are all stories. Like, mine are all stories, animals that I've rescued, places I've been. No one has the same tattoo unless they're taking a photo of it and doing it. But like, mine are all original, as tattoos should be.
With you, man. Okay, so Sunday, you gonna be at Christy Pitts?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe if Informer's there.
I can actually introduce you. He came over last Monday, and we've become fast friends. I've been hanging with the snowman. It's the best drug you can take, is hanging with the snowman. I can't tell you. Afterwards, I'll tell you a little bit. But it's been wild. So I'm going to be hanging with the snowman on Sunday.
Beautiful.
Love this song you've picked. Kick it out now.
The river broke, the bloodwood and the desert oak, holding wrecks and boiling diesels, steaming 45 degrees. The time has come to save fair's fair, to pay the rent, to pay our share. The time has come, a factor
What a great jam, man. Midnight Oil.
Amazing band. So this guy, the lead singer, I don't know his
Something
name.
Garrett.
Something Garrett?
For a moment, because I'm listening to him like, oh, it's Brad Garrett. I'm like, no. That's
I
the
thought his
honest.
first name was something.
That's Brad Garrett was the honest mechanic from Seinfeld. Do you remember this?
Yes, that's right. Isn't that Mr. Big?
No.
Also, he was also...
Mr. Big?
Wasn't he also
From Sex and
Mr.
the
Big in
City?
Sex and the City?
No, that's Chris Noth,
Oh,
who
okay.
was on
But he was
Law
the
and
guy that was
Order.
like, right. He had that deep voice, and he did the... he was Kronk in the Llama animated movie.
Okay, I'll take your word for that one, but I can tell you he was on a show. I didn't actually watch the show, but a lot of people watched Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
And that was Brad Garrett, but this is not Brad Garrett. This is another Garrett. His name is...
As you find his name, so this band has always been big
Peter
into...
Garrett.
Peter Garrett. They've always been big into Aboriginal rights and environmental protection. He became a member of the Australian Parliament and Minister of the Environment.
Wow.
Yeah. While he was still jamming, like while he was still rocking,
That's like Charlie Angus.
like he got very serious into this, and even still now, really pushes for Aboriginal and environmental rights and protections. This song, so I mean, I love it because of the environmental and again Aboriginal sort of feel to it, and another sort of stick it to the man type of song. I reached out to Midnight Oil about 7 years ago when I was pushing for this TV show, and I was filming sometimes on my iPhone, filming all these trips around the world and making up sizzle reels and YouTube videos. And I reached out to them asking if they would eventually, if I ever made a show, would they eventually either let me use this song or would they write something? And they got back to me.
What did they say?
They did say no, sorry, but they actually, they said, we love what you're doing and we want you to keep doing what you're doing, and we would let you use this song. However, it's out of our hands. It's, there's licensing agreements, et cetera, which may have been a very nice way of saying, are you crazy? You can't afford us.
But they got back to you.
They got back to me, which that is more than what most people did, because I've reached out a lot of people for different reasons regarding this little project of mine.
Why don't we just get Sloan to do it? I can talk to the guys.
Sloan would be nice.
I know all four guys now.
Really,
Yeah.
really. Wow. I mean,
do it.
one thing I know about the rest of my life, I know that I'll be living it in Canada.
Absolutely. This band, of course, I think it was another roadside attraction they did with the Tragically Hip, so there's kind of a Canadian connection there with Midnight Oil. Great song. They had, what was the other song? Dead Heart. The Dead Heart. You remember this was a big hit. They had a couple of huge hits in this country. But
I have to hear it.
Yeah, if you heard it, you would know it for sure here. So I love these songs so far. I know we're drinking our Great Lakes beer, but I said I'd invite you to an event, so I'm going to do it very quickly right now. June 26th from 6 to 9 p.m., all FOTMs are invited. We're going to collect at Great Lakes Brewery, which is at 30 Queen Elizabeth Boulevard, down the street from the Costco. And Palma Pasta is going to feed us. And Great Lakes will buy you your first beer. It'll be on the house. And it's going to be cool hangs, everybody. So be there. It's TMLX 19 at Great Lakes Brewery. Also, I have a wireless speaker. These jams are great. You can listen to these jams on your new wireless speaker from Moneris. But you also, Dr. Cliff, need to listen to Season 8 of Yes, We Are Open. Have you ever been in your many travels, and I'm curious about that most recent trip. Like, what were you doing? Were you where were you again?
Up in Iqaluit, Nunavut.
I'm curious, like, what exactly were you doing there? What would
Trying
you say
to
you do
stay
around
warm.
here?
Trying to stay warm.
What was the temps like?
Minus 40.
Oh, my goodness.
Because we went in January. Yeah, I've been twice. And when I say we, the first time last January, like a year and a half ago, my daughter Emily and my son Brandon went up with me. And then this year we dragged one of my technicians, Arthur, up with us.
Minus 40?
Minus
like, you
40.
can't go outside, right?
Oh, yeah. We just dressed up nicely. We just
Do we ever
wore
get...
our toques.
I'm stupid. Do we ever hit minus 40?
Very rarely. Here's the thing. Like Alberta, all the time. Minus 40
So my
all
wife's
the
from
time.
Edmonton, and she
So,
tells me
like-
about this. Yeah.
Like they say, stop your whining. It happens all the
well,
time.
they have block heaters, right?
The only crazy thing is there was about 3 hours of light in January, 3 hours of light. But during those 3 hours, the most gorgeous blues and whites from all the ice and snow, and it's pretty amazing. So what were we doing up there? We were being veterinarians. They have a vet clinic and no vet. They've got 7,000 people up there. Yeah. Most of them have pets, cats and dogs, regular cats and dogs. And if their animals get sick, they got to fly them down to Ottawa at $3,000 a pop. So we go up there. Ottawa, yeah. There's a real plane, like a big plane, every single day from Air North, I think it's called, and it goes back and forth from Ottawa. And so they need a veterinarian not only to do vaccines and spays and neuters and dentals, but like emergency surgeries. And my dog's been, had a bladder stone in it for months. Can you please help? That sort of thing. So it's incredibly rewarding and we love it.
How long were you there?
Each time we go up for, we go up normally for about 8 or 9 days. And both times we've been stuck a few extra days because of issues with the plane.
Okay, well, this is incredible you do this. Do you have a guess as to how many animals you might see during that stay? A guess?
Yeah, I mean, we do probably 30 a day, at the clinic. And we did essentially a free rabies vaccine clinic because rabies is a big problem in the Arctic foxes and in the dogs, therefore. We did a free rabies clinic for the Inuit population there. And in 2.5 hours between Arthur, the technician, and I, because he was giving vaccines as well, we did like 120 dogs.
You don't get like carpal tunnel syndrome or something from that repetitive motion?
I work out.
I see. By the way, I see that. I was checking out the ink and I'm like, oh, he works out.
Yeah, I work out.
I probably complained about this last time you visited because I feel my pipe cleaner arms, I feel insecure around you.
Well, here's the thing. I do have very big arms. I do not lift my arms at all. It's all boxing. Okay. You got to join me. Toronto Boxing Academy, man. It's close by.
Where is it?
St. Clair and Jane.
Oh,
Is that close?
Wait, I don't think you mean St. Clair and Jane. I think you mean George Bell Arena. Or no, because St. Clair and Jane and St. Clair was but isn't there just like a car dealer there on the corner?
Well, it's like a block down on St. Clair.
I apologize. Okay,
give me
because the Bare Naked Ladies named a song after that intersection.
Jane.
I know. Okay, yeah. I used to live at Jane and Dundas for years, so I always joked that they named the song after Jane St. Clair, but there was nothing there. But yeah, close enough. All right. I only brought up George Bell Arena because I know there's a boxing club attached to it.
Really?
And that's like the junction. So that's like Runnymede and Dundas area.
Well, if it's no excuse boxing, I'm fighting one of their guys in 3 weeks to the day. I compete in Masters Amateur. And we literally just found out yesterday that we found another guy crazy enough to step in the ring with Redford the dog.
What's your record?
5-1. I got that one loss, man.
Who beat you?
What is his name? Rodriguez.
I was going to say Razor
Something
Ruddock.
Rodriguez.
Okay.
I think I can beat him 9 out of 10 times, but he got me that one time.
Okay.
So
we need what sells is the rematches. And then
100%.
if you win that one, that third fight, we could sell tickets.
There you go.
Okay, we got to think. We could talk about this.
Do this.
But I brought up your travels. Did you see any hamsters in Nunavut? Like, did anyone bring their hamster?
No one brought their hamsters. We saw cats and dogs, bunnies, and a little iguana, what's it called? The dragon. The dragon lizard.
Are they popular up there? Okay.
What is the dragon?
I feel like
lizard,
I've seen those guys. Yeah, those dragon lizard guys. Not Komodos, but these are the smaller.
No, they're just tiny little things. What are they called?
Geckos? What are these? Geckos?
No, there's something dragon.
I don't know. Okay. You're the veterinarian. You're supposed to know this stuff here. I brought up the.
I thought it was a monkey. I don't know.
I just heard an audio documentary about how the hypothesis was that raccoons were like North America's monkeys. And then they looked into it further, and the end result was that raccoons are really stupid. And they're just destructive forces that kind of do whatever it takes to accomplish that one task. And they don't like plan or think or anything like that. It's just, I need to get into this thing because I can smell food.
But they can figure out how to get into that
true.
thing.
No, it's true. But there's no they're not smart like rats can actually like think about how to navigate a maze and all this stuff. Raccoons are just really dumb and they're good at like whatever they just causing destruction to accomplish that task. I don't know what your thoughts are on raccoons.
I've treated a lot of raccoons. They're very intelligent.
I'm gonna have to talk to the producer of this doc and get you on it because they really ended this doc by saying that raccoons were like really underwhelming and kind of dumb. Not the monkeys of North America.
I would say it is a bias test.
Okay, love it, man. You know what? You should come by more often. I have a lot of animal questions. I need like the official veterinarian of the Toronto Mike podcast.
I'd be happy to do that.
This whole
give me the beer and I'll be happy to do that.
Great Lakes would send beer for you. I was there today with my bike trailer and brought 4 cases here because it's a long weekend, you know.
It is a long weekend, I know.
Have you ever been to Regina, Saskatchewan to help the animals there?
I have not. And in fact, Iqaluit was really the only time we went abroad. We went in Canada. And that was the thing. We'd been traveling to all these amazing different cultures around the world. And finally, we kind of said we should probably do Canada. But we wanted something that was culturally different or geographically different.
And they need you there. Regina's probably got a bunch of vets there. And they don't have veterinarians in where you went.
Yeah, there were no veterinarians in Iqaluit. But there's a lot of underserviced areas in all the different provinces as you get north. So we loved going. It's amazing up there. We recommended it. Go in the summertime for vacationing. But I went up and I got to try seal meat. And I got to try.
But did you hunt the seal?
I did not, but they hunted it.
Violated
for me.
your rule.
They hunted it for me. I would do that.
I'm not too sure as I speak to you that these cows that helped create this delicious palma pasta lasagna I'm going to give you, I'm not very confident they were hunted.
I'm pretty sure they weren't. We have other people in the household that will very much love it.
Few. Okay. Well, if you ever get a chance to go to Regina, here's a fun episode for you to listen to. This is Yes, We Are Open, which you're going to subscribe to so you can listen to it on your new speaker. Al Grego sat down with Grant Frew. I don't know if he's related to Alan Frew from Glass Tiger. I have to find out. But Al sat down with Grant Frew, bar and marketing manager at Bushwhacker Brew Pub in Regina, Saskatchewan. And Grant recounted Bushwhacker's unique German beer-inspired roots and how it evolved to become a staple in Regina's brewing culture. So thank you to Moneris for sending that speaker over for Dr. Cliff.
I just followed him now. So this is a podcast about small businesses.
You got it. So these are inspiring stories with small business owners, and Al Grego travels the country. He should bring you with him and see if anybody has a sick dog or something.
He should go check out Iqaluit.
You know what? If there are at least 5 small businesses that use Moneris, I believe that is the only
is that
prerequisite.
The key?
You have to be a Moneris.
Iqaluit has the northernmost, at least in North America, the northernmost brewery. We spent almost every single evening there after working.
I'm gonna talk to Al, and he should go up there for the next season, maybe for season 9.
It's a really, really cool community. They call it a city because it's the biggest community of Nunavut, so it's the capital city. But it's 7,000 people, pretty much one road. Except there's a road that literally is titled The Road to Nowhere.
And where does that go?
Nowhere.
All right, let's kick out another one.
Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me. I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying for my soul. 30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're stagnant. 30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at? I don't want you to feel like a failure.
I know this hurts, but I gave you your chance to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong. Nature had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album. My album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is tucking their tail between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more profit cause they'd rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in. They get it.
Dr. Cliff, this song is relentless. Excellent, and there's nowhere to fade down in this song. You got to just play it through.
You just got to, yeah, that's right.
What are we listening to?
Hope. It's what is this guy's name?
NF?
NF. This is not my normal type of music. I'm kind of
although you have another song later that this reminds me of.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I got to check my list here.
I want you to be surprised when I play it.
I'm like, what? Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. The other one. This was brought to my attention in boxing, again, Toronto Boxing Academy. And my son and I were listening to it. My son does boxing with me. And he says, Dad, you got to see the video. And in the video, he explains that he's actually arguing with himself. And he's saying to himself, this is your fault. You've listened to everybody else for the last 30 years. Now it's time to do it my way and to do it, to ignore everybody else. And the line where he says, my definition of success is doing something that you believe in, or even though you have to take a paycheck, my definition of success is creating something no one else can. Like all these lines, they reminded me of this dream I have of trying to get this TV show made. This film that I did, I financed myself 100%. I got a mortgage, a second mortgage on my home, which I still haven't paid off.
Well, you're betting on yourself like you're Fred Van Vliet over here.
100%. And everyone is telling me you're not going to make this money back. TVO bought it, and TVO paid, I'm going to do math here, 2.5% of what it cost me. So, even if I sell it to the U.S., and there's a U.S. broadcaster looking at it now, and they're going to pay probably about 10% of what I paid. So I'm never going to get this money back. But I'm able to create this. I think it's a piece of art. I think Diego, the director and producer, knocked it out of the park and created this amazing film and this amazing story. And it's something that I got to do with my kids and especially my daughter. But this song, when I heard this song a couple of years ago, right away it's going on my inspiration playlist because I would cry sometimes listening to this song.
Well, firstly, don't give up, man. Keep going.
No, yeah. We're almost
I
there.
make sure
we're almost there.
I'm on your team here.
So this is so everyone goes and watches. TVO has said if a lot of people watch this and seem to really like it, we would be really interested in making a series. Okay. You're almost bearing the lead here. Okay, so now I need to order the Legion of FOTMs.
while you're making dinner, while you're watching the Leaf games, just put it on. Come on, open a tab, go to
You'll
YouTube.
You'll actually enjoy it, though.
I watched it
People
in
will
September.
enjoy it. People will enjoy it.
It's excellent, and I love it. And your daughter's in there, and it's thrilling. I mean, there's a young fox who's... And I'm thinking it's flatlining. Like it flatlines twice, I think, and then it's just wild. So you search for Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. You'll find the whole thing on YouTube, the TVO channel, obviously, so they can TVO docs. And it's been available all day. It's dropped there.
And it's going to be there for the next while. You got some time.
Okay, I have Steve Paikin coming on the show for his quote unquote exit interview because the agenda is ending and he's gonna.
Oh, that's right.
But he'll still do the On Poly podcast, and he'll do some blogging and stuff, like some special stuff. So he's in there a little bit. He's keeping a foot in TVO there. He's just not doing the full time work there.
Right.
We're gonna talk about that in the gritty details. And in that episode, I'm not even gonna say your name. I'm gonna say I saw a doc on TVO called Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. It blew my mind. Paikin, you need to tell people about this doc. You should be on the agenda while there is an agenda to talk about this.
I would do that 100%, and I have some friends that are friends with Steve. I wasn't thinking about you, but this is great.
Well, I'm saying I can text him right now.
But I don't know if his show is really...
I know, but what show is then? Because, yeah, you're not... But I feel like there's room for you in the last 10 minutes.
I have opinions that are outside of the vet world anyways. I got a lot of opinions.
Well, even if it's about the raccoons, okay, let's tie it all together. We need a worldwide vet to talk about the raccoons. These raccoons are, like we call Toronto Raccoon City, Raccoon Nation here.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of raccoons, right? These urban raccoons, they might not be smart, like IQ smart, but they are clever in how they can... defy
they can MacGyver things.
They can MacGyver
sure.
things. They can get into that green bin. They'll find a way. If it's a certain angle, they'll get out their protractor. They'll figure this shit out. Okay, we'll find an angle to get you some promotion there. But yeah, I want the listenership to know you can watch it now.
Please.
On YouTube. Dr. Cliff, Worldwide Vet. I'm got more I want to get to, but I got to get to another jam because I love it. That Hope song I wasn't familiar with, but when I'm listening to it, it really is like you're almost out of breath at the end of that thing. Like it's a manic.
Yeah.
Journey.
It is very manic, and the video is the same.
All right, we started this jam kicking with a cover, so let's do another one.
It's funny how I find myself in love with you. If I could buy my reasoning, I'd pay to lose. One half won't do.
It's my life.
I love it.
No doubt. Tell me
good.
why this made the cut.
So good. I think some psychiatrist is going to be listening to these songs going, this guy's got some demons. This guy needs to have a conversation with a therapist. All of these songs, and this is another one, is a big middle finger to whoever. It's my life, man. I am going to do what I want. If my kids are listening to this later on, I love you. I love your mom. She's my ex-wife. When 9 years ago, my first trip was to Jamaica, my first volunteer trip that had to do with this TV show project. And I came back after 3 weeks to a Dear John conversation.
Oh.
And it was a surprise, and it was a dark...
Oh, you didn't see this because I'm a divorced guy. I need to know.
I did not see this coming.
Okay, wow.
I did not see this coming. So there was
the real talk there, Dr.
Yeah,
Cliff.
and so it actually pushed me towards this dream even more.
Yeah.
And it got me. Again, I love my ex-wife for giving me these 3 children and the life that we had. She never would have let me mortgage my house to do a film. There's no way. But it's my life now. I get to do what I want. And although I am remarried, when you have a second spouse and everyone's had a life before the current spouse, they kind of let you do what you need to do. But
this resonates with me.
That, and I'm a huge No Doubt fan. I am a huge No Doubt. I am not a Gwen Stefani without No Doubt fan.
You're a Tragic Kingdom guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. When
Not
she
the
left,
poppy,
when she started doing the banana nanas.
That's not No Doubt.
Yeah. No Doubt. That is not No Doubt. Right. So I do like the kind of little ska punk music that they sort of have, and
like Sunday Morning and Spiderwebs.
Beautiful
and,
songs.
I'm Just a Girl.
I'm Just a Girl. Yeah, so, this
Don't
song...
Speak was a huge hit. That was a great album, Tragic Kingdom. And this is not from Tragic Kingdom, we should point out.
Yeah, so this song got on my inspiration because, again, picture me naked in the shower, because that's how I do the showers, and just singing this song. I belt. I was a choir boy and solo singer, doing Rick Astley back in high school. So I got some pipes. They're a little rusty, but I sing loud in the shower, and this is one of them that gets me going.
So this cover of a Talk song that the Gen Xers will remember from the early 80s, this was actually from their first Greatest Hits album, No Doubt I'm referring to. They had a Greatest Hits album they put out in 2003, and this was like a cover to promote that. But I'm with you. I actually played Tragic Kingdom all the time, and I loved it. And that sound is a bit of ska, there's a bit of punk, there's some pop in there, rock. It's just all kind of, I like that blend. And as Gwen's star rose, the No Doubt, that part of No Doubt, that sound changed, and it became poppier and more top 40. And then some guys like us maybe were left a little underwhelmed with what happened to No Doubt.
Yeah, and then
she laughed all the way to the bank.
She went on her own, and there you go. Didn't they had was it at Coachella a couple of years ago? No Doubt, and her played again.
I'm sure.
But it wasn't the same. She couldn't let loose and get all sweaty and dirty.
Also,
like
she's been accused of appropriation, right? Like I feel like she was dressing in some the garb of a culture she did not belong to, and she got some negative press for cultural appropriation herself, Gwen Stefani.
I would wonder if the cultures that you're appropriating actually it bothers them, or if there's someone else that's saying no, this is inappropriate on their behalf, and they're really going, we don't care. We take it as a compliment.
Look, I'm offended by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so, but they'll smack you in the mouth if you say anything. So,
you played that song called Hope, and then you're like, oh, it's not your normal fare. And then I'm like, well, you do have another song in your 10 that is reminiscent of that.
Yes.
It's similar to that.
And it's the opening line.
Okay.
Again, just listen to the opening line.
This is a hype song, and I can't wait to hear why you chose it, but people will know it by the opening notes. Whew. All right.
Brilliant.
Let's check your heart rate. Let me sync up to your Garmin watch there. Okay, the heart rate starting to rise. I like Eminem, but he's no Snow. You know what I
mean? With or without peanuts? That's the question.
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, did you capture it? Just let it slip. Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back
to these ropes. It don't matter, he's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant, he knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody better go capture this moment and hope it don't do it. Lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better souls escaping through this whole.
All right, Dr. Cliff, why Eminem's Lose Yourself?
I mean, it's the opening couple of lines. He says, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? And it's just that, again, like this I'm going to go back to this whole dream that I've got, and it's taken so much hard work. And for example, again, TVO says, let's get a lot of people to watch this show. All right, I am going to reach out to every single media person I know. And the last couple of days, I've been on TV 4 times. I was on TV a couple of times last week.
Well, I want to know the outlets. Like, where you been?
So they ended a vet segment on the Mary Berg show, The Good Stuff with Mary Berg.
So, she lives 3 blocks away?
Really?
That's where, I think she does it all from her home.
I think she's... Well, I was at 299 Queen Street.
Okay, she was there. Okay. Well, she used to have a show. Maybe she has had multiple shows.
Who knows? Yeah. So The Good Stuff with Mary Berg. We finished the segment talking about this. I'm the regular vet on the morning show on Global. So we just had a segment yesterday talking about the documentary.
And this is Carolyn.
Carolyn and Jeff.
And Carolyn went to my high school.
I just heard today that Carolyn married a boy from Malton. Can you confirm that?
I can tell you she's a 75 gal. So literally I'm a 74 guy. And we're in that high school at the same time.
But her husband, is he from Malton? I asked because I'm from Malton.
Okay, I
if
played
anyone's
hockey
from
in
Malton,
Look at this. Okay.
Malton, Paul Coffey went to my school. Who runs Tings? Westwood runs Tings. That's what we used to say.
Okay, I
There
do
you go.
know they
Now
used
it
to
is
call the airport Malton Airport.
That's right. Westwood is now Lincoln Alexander High School.
Okay, so let me get this right. So Mary Berg, that's a
Mary
big deal.
Berg,
At CTV.
The Social.
Another Bell Media.
Another
Did you
Bell
do that
Media.
the same trip or what?
We did them a week apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's big. Who is okay, that's big. That's
that was
Melissa Grello.
Melissa and Ms. Bain were the hosts.
Okay.
Melissa emceed the premiere of my movie when I rented the Fox Theater for family and friends. I got her to MC it.
You got her to MC it. Okay.
She's an animal lover.
So
we did the Social, we did Mary Berg, we did the morning show.
Okay.
And this morning I did Your Morning, also CTV.
Sure, okay.
And then yesterday I did a full hour on Ontario Today, CBC Radio with Amanda Pfeffer.
I know the show, of course, at noon. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we did that.
Ontario.
And now your part. I am finishing it up with Toronto Mike.
Well, there might be more to come. I feel like
I think so. We're gonna
we can get you on. We need to get you on CP24. Have you done any CP24?
I've done CP24 in the past at my clinic, and I reached out to them, but they never replied. They never got back.
Oh, that's it. What about City TV? I know people at City TV.
So Breakfast Television has had me on quite a few times, and they originally had it scheduled for this week, and then a week ago they said, you know what, we're not going to promote a show on any other channel.
That sucks, right? Back in the day, we didn't think like that back in the day.
I mean, I get if it's
and
like
it's a public broadcaster.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Get
TVO.
out of here.
Give me a break.
Give
me a break.
I'm making some calls.
There you go.
Come on. But I'm now okay. What do I know that
I'd love to get CBC TV. I haven't gotten that. Yeah, there you go.
Well, so you're your own PR person.
I'm my own PR person, and I've literally
inspire me, man.
Thanks, man. I literally over the last it helped when I went to Ukraine twice, including deep into the war zone, and I got a lot of press out of that for good reason. We raised a lot of money and brought some medicine to the humans and the animals.
Sure.
And so I kept all of those emails, and I just reached out to people constantly, and as Eminem says, man, you got one shot only You got to make this work. So if this does not work, if I don't get what I want, it is not going to be because I didn't sweat blood.
And CTV, for all their awards, they don't seem to have an issue promoting something on the public broadcaster TVO.
Yeah, they've been amazing. Yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah, you did 3 things there or something.
Yeah. They've been excellent. CTV's been excellent. The morning show on Global's been excellent.
Have you done like a News Talk 1010 or any Bell Media Radio?
Not with this latest thing.
Okay.
I tried to get Ben Mulrooney. I've been on his show a
640?
few times. Sure. I bugged Strombo to get Jim Richards to get me on. Strombo is
Did
a
that
Malton
work?
boy.
Yeah.
Apparently not, because I didn't get on. But it'll happen. The thing is this is going to be available on YouTube and on TVO.org for a while. So I think over the next couple of weeks, people are be going, we should have gotten this guy. We heard this guy on Toronto Mic'd. We should have gotten this guy on.
All right, so let's
He's
do this
good.
then. If anyone listening, and I know people listening right now, like the Mike Epples and stuff who are tuned in right now, if anyone listening would like to contact you to help you promote this doc on TVO, how do they reach you?
What's the easiest way? Like Instagram?
Well, you tell me, man.
I mean, either Instagram.
I'm asking the questions
There you
around
go.
here, Dr. Cliff.
At Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet, or drcliff.ca is my website, drcliff.ca.
All right, figure it out. And if all those fail, just hit me up and I'll get the message
We'll figure it out.
to Dr.
There's
Dr.
only, if
Cliff.
you Google Dr. Cliff Vet Ontario, you're getting mine.
Okay.
I promise you.
Well, let's make some noise. Let's get some. Again, it's a great film. We're not asking you to watch a steaming pile of crap here. Okay, this is a great documentary.
It's no Game 5, Toronto versus Florida. I mean, it's a good film.
You got, don't even remind me, man. What? It was
Hey, I'm a
sweet.
Leafs fan, but I'm a I was back in the Rick Vive days, Boris Salming, Bunny LaRock. Like, give me a break.
Bunny. Now you're going way back. I was.
Palmatier.
Yeah, well, I was there
saves
for
it.
Mike's second run, right? He had 2 tours of duty here. I had a second run. And then I'm
Captain
thinking of
Canuck.
my guys were like Alan Bester and Ken Reggett.
Ooh, wow.
Remember that tandem? That was like the
do.
Garth Orge and
I
Rance
do.
Mullenix of the Toronto Maple
Wow,
Leafs.
wow.
I liked guys like Greg Terrian, right? Builder Lego.
Wow.
Well, Gary
I just like
Lehman
Lanny
was there.
McDonald because of his mustache.
Sure. He won the cup in '89.
Yeah.
My wife is a big Oilers fan, and the Jets are still alive. They need to do what we need to do. They need to win 2 in a row to go on. And then we were talking about the fact there's still 3 Canadian teams alive, which is not very common. When was the last time there was an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final? The answer is 1989, when the Calgary Flames beat the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup final.
Oh, wow.
There you go. That's a long
That's
time
not-
ago.
Really? I was
you
going to say
think?
that's not that long.
Well, I don't know. There's 7 Canadian teams. Like, it just seems like a long time. But it's all your perspective, I guess. All right, man. We're going to kick this jam out, and then I'm going to give you another gift. Here we go.
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive. And the world, I'm turning inside out. Yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy. So
Don't
stop me now. Stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now.
Let me guess, Dr. Cliff. Okay, I've spent an hour here kicking out jams with you. Don't try to stop Dr. Cliff, Redford. Don't even think about it. You can't be stopped.
Try not to be. This is my celebratory song. I will flip through my playlist when it's on shuffle, when something really big has happened in a good way, and I will play this because I just dance around like crazy. This song makes me laugh so much because I think of It was used in the movie Shaun of the Dead. with
Yes,
Simon
that's
Pegg,
great. That's
and they're
great.
beating the zombie to the rhythm of this song. So anytime I listen to the song, I think of that scene and I laugh.
Absolutely, those movies are great. Was it Big Fuzz? Is that the other one? I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of.
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Hot
yes.
Fuzz.
Big Fuzz is a different movie. Okay,
That's a different movie. Yeah,
you don't want to know what
the
that's
70s,
about.
I think.
Schwang, wang. Absolutely. Yeah, Queen. Okay, digging it, man.
I love it. I mean, definitely about drug use. This song.
Is it? Sometimes songs are like, oh, that's about drug use, and I'm like, oh, I completely missed it. Like, I just thought it was about like.
No, I think this guy's getting high as a kite. Yeah, 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
Oh,
I think.
geez.
I think he's enjoying something of the chemical nature, and that's fine.
You know, to each
Whatever.
his own.
To each his own.
I have a question for you about songs that reference drug use. Okay, so the Tragically Hip's Bob Cajun. Do you know this song?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, it's a big fucking jam. You must know it. And it has a line, could have been the Willie Nelson, could have been the wine. Like,
Right.
this is a Gord line. And
Yep.
like forever, I had this disc and I know my hip and I love my hip. And I just took it very literally. Like, it could have been playing some Willie Nelson and drinking some wine, okay?
Right.
And then somebody...
Said no. They're talking about weed.
Yeah, it's a weed. It's about cannabis and the wine. Went right over my head.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, that means it's a good song. It was well written, and it gives you a surprise. It gives you another, reason to smile or think years later. You go, oh, I never realized that.
I need you around. You're making me feel better. Okay, I have a measuring tape for you. You got to measure like wingspan of ducks and stuff.
Of course,
all that stuff. Ridley Funeral Home has sent over this measuring tape for you, Dr. Cliff.
I appreciate that. Ridley Funeral Home.
Like, I could just see you're operating on the hamster. What did you think of the cold open to this episode?
I would have saved that hamster.
And then the way he throws it, this is an audio presentation. He throws the banks off the wall and into the.
I think everyone
trash
knows
bin.
the scene. They can think. I didn't see it. I just heard it, and I knew exactly what was happening.
You know it. I know it. I gotta say though, I speak Simpsons to some people, and they look at me like I've got a third eye or something, and I'm like, oh, you don't speak Simpsons. It's
They're
like
not. They're not.
They're not
people I
hip
want to
to
be
my,
friends with.
No, I think you'd
the
like.
same thing happens with Monty Python and me.
Okay, the dead parrot.
Say no more. Say no more.
Did you measure
Every
the
once in a while, I will give a tour of my clinic, and I'll say to people, even though it never lands, I'll say, and this is our surgery room, and we have the machine that goes bing.
See, it's not really landing with me. Like, I feel like that's Simpsons.
John Cleese, man. John
No, I know. I know some sketches. Like, I know the dead parrot sketch, for example, and there are some sketches I know. The spam. I know where the spam comes from and everything. But I didn't I'm not a completist.
Yeah, I mean,
You need to be smart, maybe. I don't know. But
I don't know.
Simpsons, it's in this country, anyways. It's a more broad.
Yes,
spray.
it is.
It's
lot
like
more
Seinfeld
pop
references.
culture. Yeah,
right.
That's true.
I want to introduce you at TMLX 19 when you come to Great Lakes Brewery on June 26th. I'm going to introduce you to Nick Iones, who is a sponsor of this show. And earlier this week, I dropped an episode in the Toronto Mike feed, which was actually an episode of Nick's podcast, Building Success, where he coaches me on how to generate more revenue from TMDS. And I think it's an interesting peek behind the curtains. Check that out. I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes ago.
I could use help because my podcast is not really getting the love that I think it deserves.
What's your podcast called?
I got to think about that. No, that's not true. It is called Vet Life with Dr. Cliff. You
How
can hear it
often
anywhere.
do you drop episodes?
Once a week, every Tuesday.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Once
and
a
I've
week?
done it for a year and a half now, consistent.
Okay. And you enjoy doing it?
Very much. Very, very much. So I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah. Sometimes it's just me talking about the vet world or talking about things that are going on. But I mean, I've recently had the CEO and president of World Wildlife Fund Canada, Megan Leslie, and I've had I had a gentleman from the U.S., Ryan Woodley, who he's a veteran soldier with PTSD, and he now trains dogs to be service dogs to help soldiers with PTSD. So,
cool.
We've had some really, really interesting conversations. Blake Moynes, who is a conservationist, but it was also on The Bachelorette. He's a Toronto boy.
I hear that's huge. I've never seen him in it.
I don't know. But we
people who like that like
we
it a lot.
climbed the CN Tower together for charity. So
From the outside, or did you do the stairs like a wimp?
no, I did it from the outside, of course.
You scale it like, hey, human fly here.
I was all dressed up as Captain Canada, like literally.
Oh, you mean Captain Canuck?
I called it Captain Canada,
okay, 'cause
but
Captain
it's basically
Canuck, yeah.
a Canadian flag. Full body suit. I've got a shield. I've got a cape. I've got these special sunglasses. They made me take everything off other than the outfit because it was going to be a danger climbing up those stairs. So I just looked like a weird guy wearing a morph suit.
Well, later when you get onto the Google machine, go check out Captain Canuck. You may have accidentally emulated Captain Canuck.
It
with
100%
that,
is.
Captain Canada costume. All right, we're going to kick out this jam. By the way, human fly here. That's actually another Simpsons reference. So there's now 2 in this episode. Another band. So you kicked out that Billy Idol song, and I remember thinking, I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with everything from, what was the album? He had an album where he covered L.A. Woman.
I don't know.
Okay, so this album, which we're going way back now, is the last album of Billy Idol I owned, and I did like that album, but I think this came out like maybe after his big motorcycle crash or something like that, but he had a big hit on that. But anyway, I digress. This is another band I loved, and we'll talk about the old stuff, and then this song, which I'm less familiar with. Let's kick it.
I'm like a child looking off on the horizon. I'm like an ambulance that's turning on the sirens. Oh, I'm still alive. I'm like a soldier coming home for the first time. I dodged a bullet and I walked across a landmine. Oh, I'm still alive. Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding from the storm? Just shine a light into the wreckage so far away, away. 'Cause I'm still breathing. 'Cause I'm still breathing on my own. My head's above the rain and roses, making my way away. 'Cause I'm still breathing. 'Cause I'm still breathing on my own. My head's above the rain and roses, making my way away. My way to you.
Dr. Cliff, you're still breathing as well.
That's right. Like a junkie tying off for the last time.
Chasing that dragon. Tell me about Green Day's Still Breathing.
Well, I mean, it's such a great song of resilience and surviving and just overcoming challenges. And I can play it on the guitar, so I like it. I can play power chords. That's pretty much about it.
How recent is this? This is like modern Green Day, am I right? Or
Yeah,
am I-
This is within the last decade.
Okay.
Yeah, this is within the last decade, maybe even less. But this is definitely recent. I like their old stuff.
Are you a Dookie guy?
I enjoy it. Yeah. I got those other bands on my my iPhone that I listen to, or those other albums. But I like songs that I can relate to, and I could relate to some of their stuff back in the day. I grow up just like they do. There was once, I remember having a co-op student from high school at my clinic about 15 years ago, and I was playing some Green Day. It wasn't this. It would have been, Does This Look Infected or something like that. Is that Green Day?
No,
or is
that's
that Sum
Blink 182. Oh, that's Sum 41.
That's Sum 41.
Right.
Anyways, I was playing some Green Day, and she was like, "Whoa, you like Green Day?" And I was like, "Is that because I'm old?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "You realize right now they're 40 years old?" No. I was like, "Yeah, Google it." Like, she couldn't believe that they were adults with children.
They started young. I remember when Dookie came out, I feel like Billy Joe Armstrong was, I don't know, 19 or something?
Yeah, they remind me of, or Billy Talent reminds me of Green Day in the sense of, just they're a garage band that was probably pretty crappy in the beginning, but they just, paid their dues and got better and better and better. And
you want me to tie things together for you? So Ben, who's the lead singer from Billy Talent.
I love the band, by the way.
Yeah, and I saw him at the Garrison last week because I went to see, it was in memory of Dave Bookman, Bookie. This was like bands were doing covers of Tragically Hip songs, and this was for the Daily Bread Food Bank. It was pretty awesome. Shout out to Elliot Lefko and Stephen Stanley who put that on. But Ben was at CFNY. Ben was producing radio shows for George Stroumboulopoulos, you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, you know this. I can't tell you anything. Okay.
No, I was sort of referencing his name.
Yeah, Strombo.
Billy Talent. So again, let's go back to the divorce because it's all about therapy.
I could do a whole 90 minutes on your divorce.
After the divorce, I started. All right, I'm going to focus on myself. It was actually my father who had been divorced when I was quite young. Had said his mother gave him advice when he became single to start taking care of himself and be a little bit selfish, make yourself happy. And so he gave me that advice. And I was like, you know what? I want to start going back to rock concerts. Billy Talent, Louder Than the DJ, was my first concert as a single man. I was taking my then new girlfriend, Vaso, who now is my wife. And
how much gap was there between these, Dear John letter and the dating of
6 months.
You know what? You and I should have a chat over a beer because we have the same story.
Although
I didn't get the I write the Dear John letters around here.
Did you accidentally say I love you to your girlfriend? Total accident.
On the phone or something?
No, she was leaving. I was going to a meeting actually with some TV producers before the Billy Talent concert. So I'm like, let's go downtown. We'll grab some food. I got to go do this meeting. And then we're going to meet up and go to this concert. Yep. And she was like, all right, bye. I'm going to go grab some food. And I was like, bye. I love you. And then she turned and went, what? I was like, no, that was a mistake. She's like, wait, so you don't? Well, no, it's too soon for that. She was just,
that's funny.
She was just busting my balls. And she's been doing that ever since. But, and it was an amazing concert. Louder Than the DJ.
How long have you been married this time? You don't know? You don't know that off the top of your head?
6 years.
6 years. Okay.
6 years.
Okay. And how long were you married the first time?
21.
See, 21.
I got married. I was 21 years old when we got married.
I was 21 years old when I got married the first time.
No way.
And she was
high
20.
school sweethearts.
No.
Oh, see, we were
met her at the Barracuda.
I met her at North Park High School.
Okay, so your high school. Okay, but that's wild. You were 21.
21.
And you went 21 years because I went 15 years.
There you go.
Which I feel like is a long time. But you're at 6 and I'm at 12 with the second and final round here.
So it's pretty much about the same.
Yeah.
You just need to grow a beard and get some tattoos and we'll be twins.
And work out.
Or
box at least, because I need your arms. I got strong as fuck calves though. You know what?
It's
not the same thing though, right?
No, that will help you a lot. You'd be surprised the leg workout that boxing.
Honestly, I have the strongest. I'm gonna say no one's got stronger legs than me.
I could still beat you in a fight.
I'm gonna kick you.
You try.
I will. Don't worry, I will. Okay. You know what? And again, we're about to kick out the final jam. I feel like we know a lot more about Dr. Cliff because we kicked out these jams. We know something, which is similar to me, and I love my ex-wife too, mother of my first 2 children, and she's an amazing mother, and she knows how I feel about her. Crazy about that woman. But I didn't start this whole thing, which was kind of a dream, just a crazy out of comfort zone thing. Let's go for it. Building this TMU, this community, Toronto Mike, which is now in year 13, let's say 13. I didn't start this until very shortly after I left my marriage. I don't know, and I don't know whether I could have started it in the first marriage, but I didn't feel this freedom to do this thing until I was out of the marriage. And you're similar.
I think we make a mistake. This may come off wrong, and if it does, it's just that I can't communicate well. I think we make a mistake when we get married and we have children, that we make our spouse and our children 99.9% of our focus. And we forget that we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to make ourselves happy, and we have to chase our own dreams and succeed and fail. And hopefully you have a partner that will support you in that and not feel left out. And the children will see you as an example of, in my kid's case, they're going to look at me and they see their father chasing their dream. And even though I'm 51 years old, It's my
Are you
midlife
turning
crisis.
52 in this year?
Yeah, I'll be 52 in July.
You're a year older than me.
Oh, I am. I'm a
We
73.
finally have an answer. I'm a
73
74.
baby.
Okay.
73 baby.
We've got the answers we've been looking for there. That is inspiring as fuck. And I can this totally resonates with me. And I think what's in this marriage, I will say, babe, are you cool if I bike to the concert hall and watch The Lowest of the Low on Saturday night? Like there's that stuff, which I never felt I never tried that the first marriage. Like I never felt like I could have this very Mike-centric outlet or whatever like this. The cycling.
Yeah.
I have to bike every day. Like
And
maybe,
it might be the age. Like it might be the fact
Maybe.
that we got married at 21.
Right.
And at 21, you do think your spouse, your partner should be taking care of you or should be focusing on you. You're kind of selfish in the bad way.
Right.
And
Right.
so you're immature and you don't realize that, oh, this person can be their own person and it doesn't take away from how important I am. That is my Dr. Phil moment.
Well, I feel like these jam kickings, which I love to do sometimes, and we're at the 90-minute mark, so I got to get to this final jam, and then I have to. Actually, I have a appointment with my oldest son, so I got to get out of here, Dr. Cliff. But we're going to kick out this final jam. But sometimes I think it takes, 90 minutes of chatting with somebody, playing music, drinking your Great Lakes beer, where you sort of hit that, oh yeah, there's something here to explore next visit. Like, there's you're more to you than saving animals, my friend.
The next visit, we can talk about my book that's coming out.
Did you write it yet?
I have, and I have a publisher.
When does it come out?
The fall of 26. So we got a ways to go.
I'm counting the seconds. But this song, I fucking love this song, Dr. Cliff. I'm going to press play right now. And it's long.
We got to end in this. We got to close with this, right? Like we're done.
So how about this? Do you want to say anything? Maybe yeah, we have a build up here. Say some inspiring words, hit the post, and let's listen.
You know what? Just look in the mirror and realize that time's going by and chase those dreams and never stop giving up and still breathe, and it's your life, and trying to always have hope. And don't forget about the sound of silence. I don't know.
But I said hit the post, Dr. Cliff. You got any more?
I don't know what the post is. I don't.
Spay and neuter your pets.
Spay and neuter your pets. Be kind to animals. Be kind to each other. And be kind to yourself.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines in my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dusk to dawn. Isn't that the way? Everybody's got the dues in life to pay.
Did I mention I love this song?
Once or twice.
Nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know everybody sings. You got to lose to know how to win. Half my life's in books, written pages. Live and learn from fools and from sages. You know it's true. All the things come back to you. Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the laughter, sing for the tear. Sing with me, just for today. Maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
Dream On is the perfect song for you.
I appreciate that. I think so. I love it.
Dream on, Dr. Cliff. Dream on, Dr. Cliff.
I always will.
Big finish. You ready? How's your heart rate?
It's good.
I think you need to take me to the hospital.
Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the laughter, sing for the tear. Sing with me, just for today. Maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
Dr. Cliff, I loved your return to kick out the jams.
It's fun coming on.
You're a very lucky man because you came during the 1 week of the year when Toronto Tree is in full bloom. So our photo by Toronto Tree will be
beautiful.
The most beautiful that tree will ever look. So you're a lucky man.
Episode 1695 works perfect.
Happy long weekend to everybody. I literally just read that on the live stream. That's from Moose Grumpy. Hey Ref was 21 when he got married, and he wants us to know he's still married to her. So that's the ideal.
He did better. He did better.
You win. Hey Ref, you win. Is that what you're saying there?
Yeah.
Jeremy Hopkins says, have a good one, FOTMs. Love people checking us out live. But for everybody else, you now have your marching orders. This is not a test. You are going to YouTube and you're going to stream Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. TVO has bought it for only 2.5%. That's the mind blow in this episode.
About 2.5%. Canadian dollars, too.
Well, I don't know where to begin. We need
they paid infinitely more than anyone else was willing to here.
More than
Canada,
I was going to cough up. I wanted a free link here. But thanks for doing this, buddy. Thank you. Enjoy your beer. Enjoy your lasagna. Enjoy your Toronto Maple Leafs book.
Thanks for having me on. And
your speaker.
Dream on.
Dream on. And that brings us to the end of our 1,695th show. This arrangement is from Rob Pruce. He's going to love the fact you kicked out some Queen. Whew. Go to TorontoMike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. Much love to all who made this possible. That's Great Lakes Brewery. That's Palma Pasta. That's Moneris. That's Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball. That's RecycleMyElectronics.ca. That's Building Toronto Skyline. And Redley Funeral Home. I'm taking a long weekend, but on Tuesday, Supriya Dwivedi is going to visit the basement and make her Toronto Mike debut. I can't wait to talk to Supriya. See you all then.